I've never been much of an international sightseer. I've never been eager to tramp around ancient ruins or bask in the architecture of the great cathedrals of Europe. I understand these activities have enormous spiritual and aesthetic value for a lot of people who are fascinated and moved, sometimes to tears, to be in the presence of the ancients. I'm married to a woman who is rarely so content as when she has the chance to wander the corridors of history, but it's never meant that much to me. When I find myself in one of these places, more often than not, I begin to think about Broadway musicals. I consider it a defect in my level of curiosity. It's shameful, really. Musicals have provided me with the kind of nourishment that crumbling walled cities have not. I've loved them since my parents and my grandmother Daisy took me to see Mary Martin as Peter Pan just before my 6th birthday. In fact, along with non-musical plays, they've been the source of most of my education and consumed an enormous amount of my thinking and my emotional development, which sometimes makes me feel foolish. But I have to thank one particular set of ruins for the fact that this book got written. I was clambering around the Greek island of Delos, Apollo's home, on a hot August afternoon when it occurred to me that I ought to teach musical theater to college students. Why Delos? Why teach? Why that moment? Whoever knows for sure why a thought pops into your head? I could claim that it was because Apollo was the god of music and poetry, and that got me thinking, but I doubt anything that erudite was lamping around my brain. I have a feeling that the ruined columns lying in piles all around me reminded me of the poster for the Nathan Lane production of A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Forum, which probably caused me some internal embarrassment. While I was trying to turn from the mortifying to the high-minded, the idea of imparting knowledge to young people somehow slipped into my brain. The fact is, almost everything reminds me of the theater, and certainly ancient ruins do. There are fabulous semi-preserved amphitheaters all around Greece and Italy, and even ruins that never were performance spaces seem to me to be inherently dramatic. They make me think of declamatory speech and kissing in the shadows, murder in the dark, and coup d'etat. But also, to be honest, they call up Nathan Lane in a toga, and distant memories of Zero Mostel, Jack Gilford, David Burns, and John Carradine singing Everybody Ought to Have a Maid. That's always been a kind of heaven to me, and ruins are about the world of the gods.